My name is Tara, and I'm studying the BA Joint Honours in DCU with English and Geography. So today I look forward to sharing with you the insights I've gained so far in my course, as well as giving you a better understanding of what exactly the BA Joint Honours is like in DCU. So feel free to ask any questions you have and pop them in the chat box, and myself and Michelle will get to them at the end of the presentation. So I'll hand you over to Michelle now.
Hi, my name is Michelle Kadri, and today we're just going to be talking about Bachelor of Arts Joint Honours. Thank you all for coming. Hope you're all having a lovely evening, and we hope that you enjoyed this presentation.
Yeah.
Okay, so for today, we're just going to be going through these topics. We're going to be talking about what is the Joint Honours course, why should you do this course. Then we're going to talk about the structure of the degree, CAO points and specific requirements, opportunities within the course, and modules and careers. Okay, next slide, please. Thank you. So we're just going to talk about what is Joint Honours. So we're just going to talk about what is Joint Honours. Hope everyone can hear me. We're just going to talk about what is Joint Honours. So Joint Honours degrees are also known as Dual Honours degrees and double majors. So a Joint Honour degree is multidisciplinary, and it allows students to study two subjects equally to degree level and graduate with one combined degree qualification. So it's basically 2 degrees for the price of one, and we think it's a very good deal.
So is that coming up? Yeah. Why do joint honours? So it's multidisciplinary. Choosing to do a joint honours degree allows you to seamlessly blend two different subjects and two different distinct fields of study and put them together, which creates a dynamic learning environment for yourselves. This mixing of knowledge becomes a valuable tool later on in your course and in life, and is something that is very much so valued by employers. So it's like putting together puzzle pieces and giving you a well-rounded perspective. As well, there's flexible career opportunities. So a joint honour degree offers versatility, allowing you to carve out a career path that best aligns with your unique combination of subjects, skills and interests, and something again valued by employers in the future. There's also a great work-life balance. So by diversifying your skill set and interests, you'll be better equipped to pursue a career that aligns with your passions, your interests, and which will give you a fulfilling professional life and complements your personal interests. And then as well, there's more Erasmus destinations available. So one of the major perks, I suppose, of doing a joint honours is there are more Erasmus destinations made available to you because you have double the amount of subjects to be studying. So Erasmus, which we'll be discussing later on in the presentation, is a brilliant experience that enriches your academic journey. And it's you get to continue studying your degree, but also gain other parts of education, I suppose, that you wouldn't get staying at home. So you learn more about different cultures and different countries and everything. It's a really good experience. So there are 5 streams of joint honours available. So they're the humanities, media studies, law, international languages, and politics. So we will also be going through these in more depth later on in the presentation. But here you can see underneath each stream the current CAO points required for each stream.
So now I'm just going to talk about the specific subject requirements. So for media studies, you would need a H4 in English. For Irish, you would need either a H4 or ordinary level 1. For French, you would need a H4 in French. For German, a H4 in German. For Spanish, a H4 in Spanish. And for music, a pre-registration assessment. And all the other subjects have general entry requirements. The purpose of this is just to have the basic level of knowledge, because you will be studying these subjects, these languages in particular, in much depth. So that's why they have these particular requirements. So how does it work on the CAO? So How it works is that you only have to choose one of the 5 degree streams below as application. And for the joint honors, this is humanities, media studies, law, international languages, and politics. So then that's what you would pick at the application. And then you will choose 2 subjects from that stream when you register with DCU in September of the year that you start. So for example, I do law and media studies. So law is the code DC292. And then I picked media studies out of like maybe history. So that was the choice I made. So you just have to make sure that you are 100% sure that the subject combination that you are looking for exists before putting the course down on your CAO. We will talk about this in the next slide, but then I will recommend the site Qualifax because it tells you if the combination actually exists.
So here is that chart that shows all the different subject combinations. So you might want to take a screenshot or a picture on your phone just to have for reference later on when you're filling out your CAO form. So it kind of looks, I suppose, a bit confusing on first glance, but we'll explain it now and it's not too difficult. So if you're looking to do 2 particular subjects, you can check by looking at first at the left column, the far left column, and finding that subject and working your way across until you come to the next one. So let's take, if you want to do geography and history, for example, you'll find geography on the left column and you'll work your way across to history and you'll see that the code DC009 is in the box that intersects with those. So it is, in fact, a course. It's a combination of subjects that exists. However, if you were looking to do, let's say, geography and German, you'd see that you'd go across to geography and work your way across to German. It's a blank box. It's not a subject combination available in DCU. So, you can have a look. If there's 2 particular subjects that you wish to study, you can refer back to this chart and see if that combination does in fact exist. So the duration of your degree depends on whether you do intra or Erasmus. So there's a minimum of 3 years anyway, and a possible 4 if you do decide to do intra or Erasmus. So intra is the integrated training internship, and it's an opportunity for you to use the skills that you learn throughout your course in a real work environment. And it's a brilliant thing to have on your CV because it just kind of shows that you've already gotten out there and you've gotten to utilize these skills that you've picked up. And then the year abroad, or Erasmus, which we'll go into more detail in the next couple of slides, is basically the opportunity to study abroad, like I was talking about earlier. So both are not compulsory, neither are compulsory, but they're both highly recommended and valued in the BA Joint Honours programme.
So I'm just going to talk about the perks of intra. So intra stands for integrated training. It happens in your 3rd year. So all these companies that you see, RTE, EBA, Deloitte, Citibank, Google, DCU has worked with all of them. If you actually come to our business building, you'll see all the companies that Deloitte has famously that DCU has famously worked with. And the perks are the 60% of students return to their intra-work placement upon graduation. And because of intra, DCU graduates are professional, experienced, and highly sought after. Intra is a very good program because the staff help you. They really hold your hand as you're doing it. So then what happens is that you apply with your CV to the intra portal, and then afterwards, they will then contact companies on your behalf. So then they will prep you with one-on-one sessions on interviewing and just CV prep and just also how to apply for these jobs and your career options. So this is a very good choice to have. It looks fantastic on a CV and it's just really good. DC is one of the best schools for intra. I can confidently say that. And next is Erasmus. So the Erasmus is the year abroad scholarship. This is also a very good option. Remember that these 2 options are in 3rd year, so you can't actually pick both. It's either intra or Erasmus, or you can go and do 3rd year. So it's either or. So the perks of Erasmus is that every student is guaranteed funding while away, and there are plenty of funding resources, but this just depends on the country that you're going to. Another perk of Erasmus for our course in particular is that you have 2 options. So then usually you would only have a list of a list of some places you could go for 1 degree choice, but because you have 2 degree choices, you have twice as many places to go to and choose from. So due to Erasmus, graduates tend to be more independent and better equipped to deal with fast-paced change. I know a lot of recruiters really love Erasmus. They like that people show initiative to go out and strike on their own. Some people actually even get jobs doing Erasmus as well while they're doing their schoolwork as well, and that just looks really good. It just shows that you're independent.
So now we'll go through all the different streams that we talked about previously, starting with my own, the BA Joint Honours Humanities. So the code for the CAO is DC009. So basically what you'll do is you'll select 2 subjects in total, and you don't need to worry about what subjects you choose until you actually register in September. So when you're applying on the CAO, you just need to put in the code, and then you can worry about whatever subjects you're going to pick after, once you've registered. So you can pick 1 from any group, but you can't pick from 2 from the same group, with the exception of group 1, where you can in fact do Irish and English. So for myself, I picked the English and geography, but you could also do like a combination like history and geography, or English and music, so on. But you just can't pick 2 from the same group, with the exception of the group 1. So you can't do human development and philosophy, or history and music. They're just not an option. So the modules that you'll do throughout the Joint Honours Humanities will examine areas central to contemporary society, which include tradition, culture, world religions, law, politics, human behaviour, just to name a few. And some of the careers that would be possible after you graduate with this particular degree could be community development, policy evaluation, humanitarian aid, primary and post-primary teaching, and regional and urban planning. So there are way more than that, but I couldn't fit them all in one list. So I'm just going to take a quick minute just to go through the English and geography part of the Joint Honours Humanities. So starting with the English component. Throughout my English course so far, these are just some of the things that I have gained. So I've gained better literary analysis, creative writing skills, language study skills, critical voice, lots of different communication skills. It's incredible. And all very, very valued in a lot of different jobs, which is pretty good. And then the geography component, these are 3 of the main things that make up the geography component of my course. So the physical geography, human geography, and geospatial geography. So one thing when I was coming into my course, I didn't realize that the geography was going to be mainly human geography based. Now there is of course physical geography elements, and you will still get to cover things that you would be used to from Leaving Cert, but it's just kind of a step up from the Leaving Cert, looking more so at populations and the economy and the way the world works, as opposed to learning about like volcanoes and like the physical way the world works. So some examples of the modules that I've done in my English course is study of fiction, poetry, Shakespeare, film and drama, and gender and sexuality. So for a lot of students in Leaving Cert, these are quite familiar to you. So you'll have done poetry, Shakespeare, film and drama. These are all things you'd be familiar with. It's just, again, a step up from the Leaving Cert, and you're just kind of expected to have more of your own voice as opposed to learning things off. So it's a good time to be able to express your voice, your opinions, and just expand on the topics that you enjoy in English. And then some examples of modules that I do in geography are Ireland's physical landscape, the evolution of Ireland's physical landscape, climate change, humanitarian action, and field and research skills. So as many of you could tell from that list, they're all very topical topics. And with the way the world is at the moment, there's a lot of aspects of this course that are very topical and can be used a lot, like with careers and stuff. So then there's the BA Joint Honours Media Studies. So there's the DC 291 code for the CAO. So you'd select media studies and one other subject, so either English, international language between French, German, or Spanish, or politics. So you'll learn how we are shaped by a culture, about the social and economic pressures on media organisations, and the way mass media are used by governments, corporations, and others to influence us as citizens and as consumers. So personally, I'm not a student in this course, so it's hard to give much of an insight, but you can text on Unibuddy any students that are doing that particular course, and also check out the DCU website for more information on that. So some of the careers as well that are an option after this course is public relations, advertising, marketing, tourism, and linguistics, to name but a few.
So I'm going to just talk about the BA Joint Honors Law. So how this works is that you select law and one other subject form. So you can either pick law and history, law and international languages. Those are the ones that we looked at before: French, German, or Spanish that need a H for, and law and media studies, which is what I personally take. So you will take a wide range of law modules that will provide you a deep insight into the procedural and substantive law, mainly of the Irish jurisdictions, but also partially in the EU legal system. So we mostly focus on Irish law, Irish precedent. So precedent is basically just previous case law. And we focus on Irish law. And then because the EU is also, well, part of the EU, we also look into EU legal system in terms of maybe directives and recommendations. And some careers that you can get from this course: you can either be a barrister, you can be a solicitor, a consultant, arbitrator, mediator. Many people take the barrister and solicitor route, but it's not the only route you can take. You can do this law degree and you can do many other things. You can work in finance, you can work in public relations. This is a really good course for these options because they really verse you into what it takes to be a lawyer in any of these fields or otherwise. So personally, I'm a joint honors law and media studies student, and I chose this course because I was interested in how law and media interact. And this is a course that allows you to study topics like in law, like constitutional law. So if you're interested in how the government works and how it can impact you as a society member, if you're interested in property, like buildings and just the laws about property rights, like the right to housing, if you're interested in actually, and this is, I think, personally, the most interesting part of the law and media studies course was we had to act as if we were actual lawyers. So there's this thing called the moot court, and then we actually have to judge. We have to decide on a case. It's either we're respondents or applicants. And then in this module, you would actually have to draft up a memorial. So these are like the briefs that you see in court on TV shows. And then we actually go to court, and then the teacher is the judge, and then we just state our cases. And it's a lot of fun. And it's also, not only is it a lot of fun, it's also really relevant for work experience. Like when you're applying for summer internships, they want to see that you have strong advocacy and presentation skills. And this module is really interesting and really good to have because it just, that transferable skill is important for companies. And on the media side, we also analyze films. We study media in forms of social media, media audiences, and class systems. For example, you can have an assignment that says that you should analyze a movie like, let's say, This Is Us, and how it relates to race and class in America. And then these are just the kind of things that you can do. And this course, like all the others, allow for intra and Erasmus. And courses like this, like law and media studies, also work well with the societies that DCU has. So for example, the DCU Law Society is sponsored by the law firm Matheson, and you can also join moot courts that Matheson has, and then there's always a winner at the end of the year. It's a lot of fun and it's really good work experience. And like I said, for intra court, a course like moot court is an added advantage because technically you have courtroom experience that you can add for your application to law firms or just any firm in general. And then there's the BA Joint Honors International Languages. So, like I said before, it's you select an international language, either French, German, or Spanish, and then another subject form, either Irish or politics. And in this course, students will analyze multiple areas of their languages. In other words, so it's not only like just grammar or or just like vocabulary, but it's also literature, but and it also has like invaluable skills such as contemporary debating, project researching, translating, intercultural awareness, creative thinking, and critical analyzing. And some careers in this, you could be a diplomat, a translator, an interpreter. I know that many people that choose this course, they're really interested in, like, maybe you want to study, you want to go to the EU or you want to go to the UN, because they're always looking for translators in the EU, basically. I think right now, I think they're looking for Irish translators right now. So this is a really good course to have if you're interested in that element.
And then the final stream we'll look at is the BA Joint Honours Politics, so DC 295. So with this course, you'll have politics, and then you'll choose between either geography, history, law, or world religions and theology. So this course will be dealing with issues such as public policy, human rights, international development, conflict, security and peace building, and contemporary ethical dilemmas. So similarly to the geography side of my course, these are all very topical things in the media today, and honestly, it'll always be relevant. So to have a degree like this is invaluable, and you'd never be out of work. But some of the careers that are offered are policy analysts, researchers, and program officers.
So then I'm just going to go through some frequently asked questions before we actually go through the questions. So one of the first questions that people ask is, after this degree, can I practice law? And the answer is not really. You have to complete further education. But remember, there are plenty of other legal careers which do not require a law license. For example, like being a paralegal or a company secretary. And does this degree allow a direct entry into teaching? So after this degree, you will have to complete a PME, and a PME is a 2 master's degree to be qualified as a teacher. And will this module be mainly composed of continuous assessments or exams? So it depends on the stream that you choose. Most streams are CA evaluated, but then when you go through the module list online, you will see if there are either mostly CA or mostly exams, and that can help you make a better informed choice. If I put down one stream but then come registration and change my mind, am I able to switch streams? So in some cases, yes, but it generally varies from year to year. There are some years that there are more spaces available than other years. So the advice is to make sure. But then in the event that you want to change it, yes, it's available. And in the academic year 2022 to 2023, there were no course transfers at all. So that just means that people really like that course.
So that's all from us anyway. This is our email, arts@dcu.ie, and as well our website is available there. We'll now have a look at some of the questions that you might have asked. So as it's a joint honours, is there double the work then if you did one degree rather than a joint degree? For example, is there more work to do law and media than just doing law or just media? I suppose I don't really know. I'm only doing this degree, but
Okay, so but for law and
yeah.
media, what happens is kind of, so let's say that you have 5 modules in a year. So 3 would be law and 2 would be media. Or maybe you have 6 in a year, 3 will be law and 3 will be media. So it's really evenly distributed. So you're not doing like 12 modules in a year. No, it's not like that. It's just 6 modules, but it's just half. So I hope that answers your question. So the next one
Thinking about the geography, I was just reading
is
it there. So, Peter, yeah, I think from what I know of the applied geography element of climate and environment, it's definitely more hands-on, more practical, more out in the field. Like I'm in second year, and we've only been out in the field for one module out of 18, I think. So it's definitely more hands-on with the climate and environmental one. I've found that with the geography I'm doing, it's definitely more human geography based, so populations, the economy, and things like that, as opposed to, I suppose, the physical landscape. I hope that answers your question. And then where would I be able to find the history module list? So if you just put that into DCU's website, so if you just look up DCU history, you'll be able to have a look at the different things not required, but the different things that would be available, the different modules that come with that. As well, if there's any of the ambassadors that are studying history as well, you can just pop them a message on Unibuddy and they'll get back to you straight away.
Okay, so if you wanted to be a solicitor by this degree by itself won't allow you to do that. So no, no degree actually allows you to be a solicitor or barrister right away. You will just because there are King's in exams that you just have to do, and then it's just for a year. So it's just an added year afterwards. But then mostly like solicitor route, this degree on itself will allow you to do it, but then you just have to do the King's in.
So if you have any more questions,
I think
feel
some
free.
people are typing.
I see the typing, yeah. Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much, Finley.
Thank you. Thank you.
And like I said, for some of the other questions, if you do think of questions that you forgot to ask, feel free to message either me or Michelle or any of the other ambassadors. We'll be happy
Yeah.
to help as much as we can with any of the questions you have.
Yeah.
So maybe give it another 2 minutes and then
Yeah.
we'll finish up.
So is a joint honors double the work of a single subject degree? So it's not really double the work, it's just more of two separate content that you're studying at the same level. So it's not
Yeah.
really double the work. So for example, if you have 6 modules in a term, 3 of them will be, for example, English, and 3 of them will be geography. It's hard work, but it's not double the work.
Yeah.
You just have to, yeah.
Yeah. And that's it. Like you'd be doing the same amount of modules in another degree, but it would just all be like it'd be 6 modules related to that one thing. So it's
Yeah,
split in half, not
yeah,
half the work, but
yeah,
half between each other. Yeah, it's very manageable though. Don't panic.
yeah, yeah. With points being 360, does it go higher based on interest? Well, I
Do
believe
the
I
points
believe
go higher
so.
based on interest? Is it or
Maybe it depends on maybe like the year, the particular year.
yeah? I
I
don't think
think
it's
every year is
the,
different. It's not really set in stone.
yeah. I think it's actually like kind of an opposite thing, like that. It'll stay kind of around there. It usually goes higher based on um I
Yeah,
don't
demand.
know what I'm trying to say, but demand, yeah, the demand for it. But no, I don't think it hasn't drastically changed too much over the past couple of years. Like even looking back as far as like when I was applying and I was looking at the 2021 points, like they were in and around the same. I think it was like 356 or something. So
Yeah,
they rarely go too far above or below.
and you said um
What's the reduction for dare entry in 2023? I'm not 100% sure on that. That might be a question that you could pop into the at DC, the arts at
at
DCU,
TC there. Yeah.
because I'm not 100% sure, Fiona. Sorry. The first slides, I might have to stop sharing for a second. Now, so basically, it was just going through what exactly joint honours is. Feel free if you want to take any pictures of the
Yeah.
screen so you can have a little look later on in your own time.
Yeah.
Then just some of the reasons why you should do joint honours, the different streams. Sorry, I'm probably going a bit quick. Then the requirements, subject requirements, which are all available on the DC website as well, which you'll be able to refer back to.
Yeah.
And then how it works on the CAO. And then the chart. Is there any more that you need me to go over, or is that all right?
think the presentation is
It's blocked on the
blocked
first.
on first slide.
I'll try reshare again.
Yeah.
Is that working better?
Those were basically the first slides. Like just what is joint honors? Why do joint honors? Yeah. Okay.
Is that all right? Perfect. Do you want me to keep going, Nabina, or is there any? Have you caught up to where you were? If you want to take any pictures of them.
Yeah.
And if that's all the questions, then we'll probably finish up here. Thank you, everyone,
Yeah.
for listening today and coming on.
Yeah.
And I hope that we've answered any questions that you've had. And if not, please don't hesitate to get in touch.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Hope you all have a lovely evening. Thank you so much for sticking around and asking so many great questions. Okay. Bye, guys. Thank you.